Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of the Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. So today I would like to address the question, can bodybuilding get you more women? Okay, so if you become a bodybuilder, will this get you more women? And the answer is yes, but it's not automatic. And it's kind of a complex answer. And today I will explain how bodybuilding can enable you to become more successful with women, how to get involved with bodybuilding, and toward the end of the semester, towards the end of the discussion today, I will explain how you can get involved in bodybuilding and how you can increase your chances of women by going to the gym. Okay, so me personally, I'm 62 years old. I've been bodybuilding for 49 years. This is what I look like. I think my legs look a little better in my upper body. I'm not Mr. Universe, but I have been training for a very, very long time. And I have actually worked as a strength and conditioning coach with many young men. And also I've trained older people as well. And so the answer to the question is, can bodybuilding make you more successful with women? The answer is a conditional yes. What do I mean when I say it's a conditional yes? Okay, a lot of guys have this idea that if they become a bodybuilder or if they look like a competitive bodybuilder, women will just be throwing themselves at you, will just be taking off their clothes, laying down and telling you to, come service me, try and keep these videos pretty G-rated. And that's not the case. I was a competitive bodybuilder. I've done 17 shows, and looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger does not automatically get you women. So that's the first thing you need to understand, is that it's not that simple. You don't go to the gym, bust your hump for several years, and then automatically women are throwing themselves at you. What it does, however, is it helps you to get into the game. Okay, I had a video when I was talking about, where is that? I don't have it here on the board. I was talking about that 50% minimum level of attraction women need to have in you. Bodybuilding helps you to get there. Bodybuilding helps you to get that minimum level of attraction, which then gets you in the game. So once you have, and I talk about interest level as being on a scale of 1 to 100, you need at least 50% interest level from a woman. You need to pass a certain basic attraction test in order for her to talk to you, in order for her to give you your number, and then to go on a date with you. So just looking good is important. It's very important. It gets you in the game, but it's not everything. You still have to know how to seduce women. You still have to know how to raise interest level. You still need to know how to manage a relationship. But what bodybuilding does is it gets you that opportunity. And let me sort of explain. If you are fat and slobby, or if you're what is known as skinny fat, you have no muscle tone, right? You may not look fat, but we take your shirt off, it's seeing your body fat's very high. That is going to be a turnoff to women. Okay, so if you're out of shape, that means you are not going to be able to get into the game. All right, so let's look at physique this way on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, a 1 means that you're an obese slob. A 10 means you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, you don't have to be a 10, but you've got to get out of that 0 to 5 range. Okay, you've got to get. Let me put it this way. Let's say you're not in very good shape. You go to the gym. You work very hard you go from say 22% body fat to 15% body fat. You have you have some muscle tone now. You look much better than you looked before. Now you're in the game. Now you're going to be able to pass that minimum level of attraction, and that's what bodybuilding does for you. Okay, so you don't have to look like a competitive bodybuilder to be successful with women, but you do want to get to that 7 or 8 point on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Again, a 0 is a fat slob, a 10 is Mr. Olympia. You don't have to look like a 10, but you need to get to like that 7 or better yet, that 8 point. You want to develop your body and you want to look as good as possible, right? They did some questioning of women. What do women like best? A lot of guys think it's chest. No, it's actually abs and butt. And again, you want to develop that V taper look. And again, when I'll have some videos on training. A lot of guys don't train properly. I will teach you how to train properly. There's a lot of bad information. At some point, I'm going to do some videos on how to train properly. That is all in the future. But today I want to talk about how you can get started. Okay, so we know that bodybuilding will help you. Bodybuilding gets you in the game. Bodybuilding let's say you're an average looking guy, and again, that you're kind of sloppy and fat. You go to the gym and you get in very good shape. Now you look good enough for even highly attractive women. You've now passed that minimum threshold. How do we get there? How do we get started? My first advice is, first of all, I should preface this. This advice is going to be for people from the age of 12 to 45. Okay, I do have advice for younger athletes. The problem, if you're very young, there's this big debate on whether or not weight training closes growth plates or not. The problem I've seen with really young kids is they tend to get injured when they weight train. So my advice, I started my son at age 11 weight training, but I carefully supervise him. So my general advice is to wait till about the age of 12. I know people watching my video aren't 12 years old. They're mostly older. But generally, this advice is for people between the age of 12 and 45. And that advice is to get involved in basic free weight training. You'll hear in the fitness world this debate between free weights and machines. They both have a role, but when you're starting out, you really want to focus on free weights and basic weightlifting exercises. And I cap that at 45 is because at 45, some people can still train in a heavy basic free weight manner at age 45. That's very possible, but some people have to start switching over more to machines. Like for example, I squatted for 35 years. Squat's an excellent exercise. Again, I will talk about specific exercises in other videos, but I had a shoulder surgery, so I could no longer get my arm back in order to do a squat. And then I did a squat simulator after that, and I used to train very heavy. I used to train with 8 plates on the squat simulator. And then when I competed in the Southwest USA, I saw that my hips and butt had actually gotten too big from squats. So nowadays I don't squat anymore. I do most of my leg exercises are mostly with machines and not free weights. But again, I just give a rough general estimate of ages 12 to 45. Again, this can be different for individuals. It depends on the individual. But as a general rule, right now, I'm just giving that age range. And for that age range, you want to start with basic free weight exercises. So again, the squat, the bench press, the deadlift, it should go without saying that impeccable technique is critical. And I advise people generally to start with a 3 times a week program. Okay, why 3 times a week? Because that's enough to give you everything you need, and it's not so much to overwhelm you. A big mistake I see people make, they'll go from being sedentary to going to the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, and they quit because they overwhelm themselves. So that's why I generally recommend only training 3. When you start, limit your training to 3 days a week. And I also generally recommend what is known as a 2-way split. You'll hear the term split thrown around a lot in bodybuilding. There's the classic 3-way split. you do all push muscles on one day, all pull muscles on another day, and then you do leg muscles on another day. What I'm going to recommend people start with is a two-way split. And so they go to the gym 3 days a week. They train half their body on one day, usually lower body, and then they train half their body another day, usually upper body. That is an excellent way to get started. And again, on later videos, I'll go through some of the exercises, but I generally recommend getting started with a basic three-way split, going 3 times a week. We want to build a pattern of success. That is what is the key here. Again, we don't want to go 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, because that way overwhelm you and you may quit. So instead, we go 3 times a week and we do an hour of weight training and then maybe 20 minutes of cardio. Eventually, I'd want you to extending that to 30 minutes of cardio. But we start with a program that's doable and we become successful at that program. Once we are successful at that program, yes, then we can start going more. Then you can start maybe going 4 days a week, or like I do, I only train 5 days a week. I used to train 6. I train 5 days a week, and then we go to a more advanced split. Then you can go to a 3 or even a 4-way split. But again, we start with just 3 days a week. Okay, again, I don't have time to get into too much detail on the types of lifts, but what I'm trying to do here is to get you started. Okay, finally, I want to talk a little bit about diet. Diet is at least 50% of everything. So you need to start learning how to eat a clean diet. Again, I could do many videos on that, and I will in the future, but you have to get your diet under control. You have to learn how to start to eat healthy. You have to learn how to start eating clean. So the first thing I'll have people do is simply to clean up their diet. Okay, then we can do other things. Traditionally, there was the old 5-6 small meals a day methodology that I adhered to for years. And then we got things like intermittent fasting, which I use now. Again, those are issues that are beyond the scope of this video. We're over 12 minutes right now, so we're getting a little bit long. But diet is critical. And again, you guys, the key here is not to overwhelm you. It's to build a pattern of success. So again, if you try and go on some strict diet, I've seen this time over and over again, people fail. They'll go on this super strict diet, low carb, no carb diet, and they'll fail. What we want to do instead is make small changes and build a pattern of success. So again, let's recap. Will bodybuilding get you women? The answer is a conditional yes. What bodybuilding does is it enables you to get in the game. It enables you to meet that minimum 50% threshold of attractiveness, which then enables you to use your other skills that you develop, your skills of seduction, your skills of getting women to love you and stay in love with you. Okay, guys, so I'm going to cap it today. We're running a little bit long. If you like what you heard and what you saw today, please hit that like and subscribe button, and good luck dating.